What's going on, guys? It's Red Bull Tanker and Airsoft Commando with Korea 625 War. Well, just kind of looking at everything, guys. Airsoft Commando and I were talking, and honestly, we see no victory for the Allies given all of China that is about to come in, and given while the U.S. did do some damage to the North Koreans on that Incheon attack last turn, it doesn't seem like there's really going to be enough allied
First
ground.
Corps suffered too many casualties in that attack.
Yeah, the allied effort, there's not going to be enough troops on the ground to stop what's coming in 2 turns. So, we are going to call the game at turn 8. I understand the game is 19 turns and we barely even got halfway, but just looking at the situation, it just became apparent um, that it was going to be time to call it. So, and I
Yeah,
mean,
I'll remind viewers that this is tests, right? We're not playing fully. This is to figure out how to make this game as playable as possible.
yeah. And so, I mean, going over some of the notes we have. I I've said it a couple times, and I'll keep saying it again. I think China starting turn one way too powerful. I
And
think
I concur.
I think they like. I understand that the setup for China is what they're at in November 1950. However, I don't agree with that. I think their setup should represent, like everybody else, their setup should represent June 1950 with maybe a little tweaking here or there, maybe adding a tank or two with, some fighters and stuff like that. But other than that, this is just way too many ground forces, especially considering that China got what, seven? Pretty much 7 turns of uninterrupted building.
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah. So I think with at the most seven uninterrupted turns of build, this is just way too much to start. Which, I mean, I get, even as China, you put a lot of your money into aircraft, but even
Right.
still, like, this is still way too much
This should
starting
be
on the
reduced
ground.
by half, at least
Well,
by half.
like I was saying, I think it should go back to how it originally was, where it was like 6 infantry in all 4 territories with like 1 or 2 artillery as well, and then in Anshan and Bada, there's like a supply truck with a couple supply, and then in Anshan, there's also like like 2 fighters and a strategic bomber, and then obviously a AAA guarding this factory and a AAA guarding that factory. I think that would be appropriate enough. And then even here in like Shenyang and Tonggua, like give them a supply truck and like a supply or something like that, just so that way everything is kind of there. I think that would better represent China on the Yalu in June of 1950 when this whole thing kicks off.
Yeah, I agree with that. Another one thing we came across was the UN, considering we played a lot of simultaneous turns, so the UN and US could work in concert. Because that is not the case, the UN should go up to 25. Because
I
they do not have enough IPC to do operations themselves.
I would agree. I think the UN should have a higher. It should definitely 25, maybe even 28.
28, absolutely, is a
Maybe, yeah,
possibility.
yeah, maybe 25,
But we
28. But yeah,
we should start at
like,
25.
yeah. So like, yeah, if the UN is gonna have their, if it, because the game, like, even when we were playing Simul, that was not how the game was supposed to be played. But yeah,
No, they made it better.
for the UN to be able to do individual operations, they definitely need to have a higher IPC count. I definitely agree with that.
Let's remember that we couldn't agree with how the game was originally was kind of incomplete as it was. So
Yeah. Let's see here. What else did we have? I think we also had that. Oh, here. It's okay. Let's go to my notes.
and then we had cruisers. I think should go back to one because
Yeah,
that's what
I think so
swayed the
too.
sea battle there.
Yeah, I think, yeah, Cruiser's going back to dying on 1 hit instead of 2 hits. Like I said, I can't remember what his explanation was for that, but yeah, no.
And The big thing is if he's gonna do that, he needs to raise the price because he didn't change the cost at all for that ability.
Yeah,
He
that's
kept it at
true.
12.
Yeah, so either it's gotta get bumped up to like God, I'd almost say
It's
15.
gonna be like 8, yeah, 16, easy.
Yeah, 15 or 16 for cruisers, or just get rid of the it takes 2 hits to kill them. What else? Oh,
I
we
think
want.
that was the 3 big ones. What?
Oh, and then tactical bombers and jets costing
Oh,
11,
yes.
but then also tactical bombers stats changing where they attack at 7, defend at 3, and then move, or defend at 3 and then move 7 spaces.
I agreed with that. Yes, and we made him 11. Correct.
Yeah. And then the last one was just kind of another cosmetic thing, like heavy tanks attacking and defending at 8 rather than attacking at 8 and defending at 7.
Yeah, every other tank has equal stats. So having the heavy tank when it costs as much as it does, suck at defending doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I definitely agree. So those are
Especially
definitely
since the
things.
Pershings performed well in the Pusan pocket, where a lot of that was defensive work.
Yeah, and yeah, and like I said, I with all those changes, I definitely agree. I mean, we kind of got to use them a little bit more. I mean, I would say I'm all for the Allies having self-propelled artillery. I
Yeah,
think
that was
they
something that we were fighting right
I
at the
think
beginning.
I think they definitely worked. I mean, they were a little instrumental in my attack on Incheon, just
Yes, they were.
being able to have artillery move the 2 forward to support my attack. That definitely really helped. I mean that would, and I think I mean we weren't really testing any other new units. I think really
No,
this one was definitely testing the viability of self-propelled, and I think I mean I think they were I liked how they worked.
I agree.
I definitely think
I'll
they
put
should
one more
stay
note
in.
out. I agree. One note, guys. There was because of how Seoul went down to 5. We basically the way I brought it up is there's 2 ways to play it, right? You can either try and still defend it, or you can just give it up and try and build an army in Pusan right away. So you have a force in the field ready to go when Seoul falls. Blake did it one way, Red Bull Tanker, and so now we're gonna probably do it not recorded, just off camera. We're gonna try again playing the other way
Yeah,
and see if it's viable. Because if it's not, then we gotta play with the factory production again.
yeah, yeah, definitely. But then the hard part, but I guess then the hard part too is if we mess with the factory, we also have to see how that messes with with the game further down the road.
Yep. Testing isn't easy. Anyone who thinks it is being a little silly. Like
Yeah,
it's like writing a computer game, right? Like you change one letter of one digit in a line of code, and all of a sudden you've messed everything up.
yeah, yeah, 100% agree. I mean, I mean, conservatively, I'd say we're about 80% there.
I think I said 85. But yeah,
Yeah,
we're pretty much in agreement.
I think we're about 85% there. It's just kind of fiddling with you know, one or two one or two big things, and then just a couple like I mean I would say the cruiser thing is a kind of a minor thing. There's 2 easy ways to fix that, but definitely like still trying to get a good fix on the Soul Factory, and then
Yeah,
like
that's
I
the
said, I
major one.
that's a major one, and honestly I think China's a major
That's the
one
major one.
too.
UN, I'm sorry, is definitely a major one because
Oh
they got
yeah,
to be able to do
The
simple
UN too
things.
is a major one as well, since yeah, to operate on your own for 20 IPC, that
Uh,
doesn't seem like it's viable with this.
exactly. Off camera, I had asked why he didn't just land with the UN forces on like 38th Parallel West or Chenan. I didn't realize that, like I did previous games, he put all of his stuff into aircraft and didn't have ground forces to do so.
Yeah.
Uh, UN just doesn't have enough IPC as it is to do both, and either strategy carries risk.
Yep. And in this game, I even tried to do a little bit of air, do a little bit of ground, kind of do mix and match, but just how my purchases wound up, it ended up biting me in the butt that when I did air, I should have done ground. So then I probably could have had ground forces to do like a Cheonan landing and such. So
So definitely 25, and then maybe a strategy we'll try is right off the bat, you should actually have ground forces over air forces, maybe, to have something ready, and then you can commit to air.
maybe that's definitely something to consider. But and I mean, like with all games, different players will have different. They'll come up with their own strategies as well. But it's definitely worth trying to see all angles, or at least try to see all angles. But sometimes that's the hard part when it's me and you just testing, because I sometimes think you and I kind of get laser focused in on certain strategies, and then we just kind of stick with those, and we don't tend to balloon out from them a little bit, if that makes sense. Because I mean,
Maybe, but with the way Soul is now,
yeah, with the way Soul is now, this should definitely help a
that shook
little
up
bit more.
everything.
Oh yeah, that
And if
definitely
the
shook
UN
up a
gets
lot.
25, that'll shake up a lot of things too. If we get China back to where it honestly should be, that'll also shake up a lot.
Yeah,
So there's a
yeah,
lot of stuff here that can definitely play a part.
yeah. All right, well, so that's kind of it for our post game review, guys. We're gonna gonna work on some stuff, and hopefully we'll have another test for you guys soon. I'm not sure when, but just be on the lookout. And who knows, maybe in the interim, maybe I'll find some other stuff on TTS that I can kind of play around with and just post some videos about, just so that way, you guys have some entertainment while we continue to try and get the last 20 to 15% of this game nailed down.
I still really want to do a Star Wars X-wing match because I think that'd be wicked fun.
Yeah. No, 100%. I still got to download that. And then if you've seen on the Facebook group for Axis and Allies, I started posting I just kind of started posting some little TTS stuff, how I took this Civil War game and I brought some World War One pieces over to it, and now I'm doing Harry Turtledove's Southern Victories World War One.
Now, if you guys haven't heard of that series, it is a what if the South wins the Civil War, and then
That's a fun
therefore
one.
the United States remains split, and then it remains split in World War One, and then World War Two.
Yeah,
Uh,
I'm
it's overall fairly good. There's a lot of, if anyone's read Harry Turtledove, you'll know what I say when I mean. There's a lot of Harry Turtledove in the
yes.
book. Uh, also, I think Harry Turtledove follows real history too much.
In
He
some
takes
cases,
things
I
that
would.
actually happened and he transplants them into this conflict.
Yeah, yeah.
Also, there is a global conflict going on simultaneously that he barely talks about. That is insanely interesting.
Yes, the that's what I always found kind of sucked about. Like, one of the things I didn't like about the Southern Victory series was that what was happening in the U.S. was only a small part to like a global conflict, and you hardly ever heard anything about the global conflict, which was like, oh, I'd really like to see like how the U.S. losing the Civil War, and then these conflicts happening, like what do those conflicts look like now that
The
like there's no you like there isn't just a United States supporting one side.
No, they split. So the British, French, and I believe Russians eventually end up joining this, essentially allying with the South.
Yep.
And then the North has Germany, and Germany kind of goes back and forth as far as how well it does or doesn't do. It seems like the atom bombs kind of turn it around.
That's during World War II, yes.
Yes, sorry, World War One, you don't hear much, but Germany does win World War One, and
Yeah,
therefore there is no Nazi Germany.
but there is air quotes Nazi Confederacy.
South. And this is what we're talking about when we say he borrows a little too much from real history
Yeah,
and puts it into here. But
yeah,
that's enough rambling.
yeah. So like I said, if you look on the Facebook group, I've made some little notes about that. I'm just kind of having fun with it. I might even eventually transplant like pieces from this game, like World War II type pieces, and transplant them onto that map and create like a World War II, create like their World War II for the United States in there, which I think which could be some fun.
That would be fun. You need
Yeah.
to get a map going,
Yeah.
and we should totally play that.
Oh yeah. Well, all
Uh,
right. Well, I think that's it for this review. Sorry we went off topic right there at the end, but so
we do
yeah.
that.
Like I said, we're about 80-85% there, and we just got to work on getting that last 20 to 15 to 20%. So
Now, will these changes actually improve the percentage, or will they knock us back? It's all
who knows?
that's all the risk.
The possibilities are endless.
Indeed.
All right, guys. Well, so that's it for now. Keep on the lookout for videos in the soon, and or I'll make an announcement and let you guys know kind of where we're at. So that's it for now, guys. So until next time, as always, take care.